What's up, guys? Doug Polk here, and welcome to Table Talk. I'm joined by, as always,
Joey Ingram. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is the third episode of Table Talk, and really appreciate a lot of the feedback. We've been getting a lot of good comments out there. We've been getting a lot of good suggestions. We're trying to improve the show each week, and as always, we appreciate even the biggest details, smallest details, biggest details, whatever you want to give for feedback. Let us know. We're going to keep improving the show. And Doug, let's just get right into it, man. Let's get started today.
Let's jump into it. First up, Bill Perkins. For those of you that do not know, Bill Perkins has been giving away PCA packages. That's right, Twitch. It's Christmas. There are free packages going around all over the place. First off, I am amazed that someone has this kind of charity. Like this is ridiculous. This is tens of thousands. I don't even know how much money has been giving away in total, but thousands and thousands of dollars. And second off, how is this not a bigger story? You know, when I first heard this, Joey, it blew me away that someone was giving away PCA packages, and I had to hear it through like somebody, you know, just hitting me up, like, "Oh, did you hear about Bill Perkins? Like, why is there no feature story on this?"
You know, I don't even know how many packages he's given away. It seems like the other day I saw he's giving away a package at 1 p.m. He's like, I gave away an extra 5 packages, which it just seems so absurd. Jeff Gross is streaming. He said, I've authorized Jeff Gross to give away a package. I'm like, what? I mean, he talked about on the podcast, he's trying to build the Thirst Lounge stream team. By the way, what a great, you know, we got Run It Up. We got Team Never Lucky. Now we got the Thirst Lounge team. And I think it's great for poker. You're going to have all these guys being able to go down to Bahamas in January. Hopefully it won't rain this year. It's probably be first time there for a lot of players. And I don't know, Doug. I mean, like, what do you think me and him chat about it a little bit, but what do you think his motivation is for doing this? Just wants to give back to the poker community a little bit and give people an experience that they're probably never going to forget?
Well, you know, it's interesting with Bill Perkins because it's definitely a interesting move to go from, I believe he trades gas as his main source of income. Right. And to go from making just millions and millions and millions of dollars to streaming on Twitch on your yacht. That in and of itself is a story. I mean, how many people are playing poker on their yacht online? Like sometimes I was watching the other day and his like connection went out for a little bit and Ike was streaming the other side and was like, "Hope your yacht's doing all right out in the stormy seas there, Bill Perkins." I'm like, what? How is this not a story? This is so unbelievable to me. The guy's worth, I don't even know how many millions of dollars, and is streaming on Twitch, giving away packages. You know, what is his goal? I don't know. It's hard to put yourself in the shoes. Maybe he just really enjoys it. Maybe he likes being part of the community. Maybe he's trying to build his name within poker. Hard to really say specifically what his goals are. But, you know, when you said that this is going to be the first time going to a tournament like PCA for a lot of these players, first time in the Bahamas, that's absolutely true. I mean, I've never even been to PCA, and I play poker for a living.
What? Have you not been to PCA? I mean, the thing is at PCA, one, they can't really do much else on the island. From when I've been there, you know, there's this little downtown area, and at nighttime, if there's not a lot of people there, I can't say I feel 100% safe. Shout out to the Bahamas, bang bang. But at Atlantis, I feel like Atlantis is great. It's beautiful. It's kind of weird because it's a lot of poker players there. There's really not too many women there, except girlfriends of poker players. So if you go there, it's like tournament? Yeah, I mean, well, it's Bahamas. You think like at the Bahamas, it'd be but yeah, you're right though. That's a good point. But yeah, so it's kind of this really weird dynamic, and it's really expensive. Even when you're staying in the Cove, I feel like the Cove last year, I don't know, it was it was a lot of money at that place. So I can understand why a lot of people don't go down there for a normal trip. But I'm really excited to see maybe one of these guys pulls it out. I think there's going to be some coaching involved. I know Sam Abernathy's involved doing some design for the shirts. They're probably going to have contests down there. All I know is, man, I'm so happy that Bill Perkins is in the poker world. I'm happy that he's able to give his wisdom to people. And I feel like he's actually somebody that people can kind of aspire to be like, not only in poker, but also in their life too. So, all right, Alibaba Poker, Doug. Have you heard about this? The International Poker Tour has recently announced they're starting up something. It's Alibaba Sports, which is a chain of Alibaba. Alibaba is one of the biggest companies in China. Yeah, biggest countries, companies, whatever, same thing. And I guess poker in China is really picking up. World Poker Tour was purchased in 2015 by another Chinese company, I believe. And now we have this international poker tour announced. We saw some pictures from the announcement. It looked pretty, the setup looked nice.
Extravagant, I would say. Nice. It looked pretty extravagant.
Yeah, man. I feel like China, I don't know, man. Something's happening in China, Doug. Something's going on out there.
Well, when you look at the poker ecosystem, America got to fully experience its poker boom in basically when Chris Moneymaker won the main, right? And then leading up until Black Friday, essentially poker was definitely growing fairly consistently. And I just think because of the laws in China, they haven't really gotten the opportunity to go through that same experience. As far as I know, it is still not allowed to gamble in China. When you see someone gambling on stars, aren't they normally in like Macau or in Hong Kong? Or can you even play poker from just random places in China? I don't think you can.
Yeah, so from what I've read, there's been some controversy that happened with some of the recent poker tournaments. I believe the Asian Pacific Poker Tour, I think that's what it's called. It was halted mid-event because questioning the legality of the situation. But it seems like from what I've been reading, it seems like things are definitely picking up there. And I don't know exactly if it's legal or not. I guess we're gonna have to get our legal experts in the Twitch chat or on YouTube to
we
let
need our
us
own
know.
Attorney, Joey.
We're what?
We need our own attorney. Someone that can really lay it down, let us know what's good, what's not good. As far as this tour goes, we're not going to know until they actually start having some events and we see them not get interrupted mid-event.
Right.
We're not going to know what's going to happen here. All right, so poker shutdown. For those of you that don't know, recently 10 state attorney generals got together with VP President
Doug, we're I gotta say, buddy, me and you reading the news. This shit. I gotta tell you, we're new with the news, guys. All right, I know a lot of people out there, professional news reporters, readers. You guys just flow at us off the top of the tongue. But for us, when it comes to the news, I can't imagine Doug's watching much news. I know I'm not paying much attention.
Let's continue. Anyway, so 10 of the attorney generals from different states got together with VP Mike Pence or VP-elect Mike Pence and wrote a letter to Trump asking him for a shutdown of online poker sites. Or is it to Pence? They wrote to Pence.
Technically, they wrote a letter to Mike Pence asking that a certain law in the 2011. Man, we are not on this one on top of it. So I'm reading it right now. It just all seems so foreign to me. I still have all my notes from when I wrote down earlier. But basically, the attorney generals want to shut back down the loophole that got the state legislation legalization started. They want online poker to go away. They even lied, I guess, in the letter. They talked about it got shut down they repealed over Christmas time. It was actually in September. And there's been letters like this before in the past, and nothing's came from it. And they're going to need a lot more than just 10 attorney generals to get this one overturned. But
still, though, it's still not what you want to see when there's going to be a new vice president in power that already these state attorney generals are lobbying together to try and get things shut down at the federal level so that states can't come out with their own thing. Because, the good news was that the federal government kind of just left it up to the states. And that's why we have seen some states like Nevada and Delaware and New Jersey. Some of these states have actually created their own sites that you can play within the state, which, it's a shitty step in the right direction, but it's still a step in the right direction. You're starting to get poker in some states here in America legally rather than operating kind of in a gray area like the ACRs and the Bovas, et cetera. So, this has been a good step for poker, but this doesn't look good.
Yeah, it doesn't look very positive in terms of it actually happening. But at the same time, there's just so many things now. It feels like now we got Trump, we got this, we got Adelson, we got Rauer, we got all of this fucking legality stuff. And oh man, I don't know. We talk about this every week. It seems like every week something's going on, but hopefully we get some positive news. And I don't exactly know what's positive on the horizon. We got to wait till Trump's officially elected into office when he's sworn in there. And then hopefully something comes. So hopefully some positive comes. We'll be stay tuned for that. Poker Night in America, Doug. Poker Night in America. They've been you've been watching some of these cash games they do on Twitch. They have the 2550, 5100. They have I mean, a couple weeks ago, they had a game. I think it was 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600 sometimes. It was one of the most craziest games. Perkins in the game. Matt Berkey was killing the game. Chance was playing a little bit crazy in the game. I got to say, I'm very happy that Poker Night in America is around. And I'm very happy that they still run these high-stakes cash games, because when we take a look at what's been the most popular poker over the years, there's the main event, and then there's high-stakes poker. There's the Poker After Dark cash games. And I feel like there isn't really any of those in poker right now. The big game went away for some reason. And I don't know if these cash games that Poker Night in America put on, I don't know if they get as much love. I don't know if they get as much exposure as I feel like they should, because especially, they had the ladies' night. They had that last one with just crazy action. I don't know. I feel like they could be doing something more to get it out there and let people know that, hey, these exist.
Well, for starters, when you look at what's been big for poker on YouTube, really even on Twitch, but just in general, on TV, it's people actually playing poker. It's chips and cards, action flying, someone's getting stacked, somebody has like bottom set, someone has top set. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that people want to see. They want to see high stakes poker going down. And even though we have seen the disappearance of Poker After Dark, of high stakes poker, of a lot of these shows, the thing is, when these new clips do come out, when these new shows do come out, and there still are some that, are lined up to come out or have come out, etc., they do really well. They get tons of views. They're frankly the most popular thing on YouTube. I mean, I get all the time on my page when someone's watching one of my videos, who's this guy talking? I just want to watch the poker. I get that all the time, and it's just like, this is my channel.
Why is this guy with a mohawk talking? Will he please shut the fuck up? Yeah,
mohawk, Joey? Is that what I mean to you? Anyway.
I don't see that much anymore about you, though. I don't see them comment like that on your page anymore.
The point is, the type of content where people actually play high-stakes poker, that is the most popular type of content for poker on the internet, period. So, Poker Night in America, maybe they need to do it in a little bit of a different way. Maybe they need to find a different way to present it. I'm not so gung-ho on Twitch being the best way to present high-stakes poker content, because they have to be live and there for it. But, it is another way to try and get your content out there. The thing is, what I'm happiest about this Poker Night, what makes me the happiest about this game is that hopefully we can see some small resurgence of these cash games. Because 2016, up until the last couple weeks, was pretty bleak. Was there really any high-stakes cash that happened at all? The Poker Central game was last year. And other than that, what really ran? What high-stakes cash games ran?
I don't know, man. I can't think of many.
Yeah, and the thing is, people want this stuff. Like part of the reason why players like Durr and Antonius and Ivy got so popular was because they were on all of these shows constantly. People knew that they get to see this player play poker like this week, next week, the week after. They became sort of a staple in the poker community by actually playing poker. Nowadays, you have to make up news shows and stuff to get in,
Yeah.
It's just that it's not the same. There's not those same opportunities to get in there, get your name out there. Like, yeah, sure. You know what? You run deep in the main, you can be the next Kassouf. You could be. If you're talking it up, whatever. But you got to run deep in the main.
Right. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. We're done. That's it. We're done. We're trying to end at 0. I can't even start a thought
finals.
there. So.
The GPL League came to an exciting conclusion with the Montreal Nationals taking down the Berlin Bears in the finals. I know, not the Moneymakers. Or was it the Moneymakers?
You made a YouTube video where you said the Las Vegas Moneymakers and my boy Scott Ball took it down this year.
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. So my question is, Joey, how can the GPL, after I'm going to say lackluster season 1, how can they come back for season 2? What could make this better? What do you need to change? What do you need to change for the GPL to be more successful?
Well, Doug, I got a list, and it's a long list, but I guess we'll start at the top. So the format, right? Let's start with the format. The format, new, but the feedback has been pretty boring. And the only times I've heard differently are when there's the players actually commentating on the online version during the hands. And when you have a Timex, when you have Jungle Man, when you have these guys that are talking about their hands during it, maybe talking a little bit of strategy, you get a little bit inside their mind as the audience. That's when I've seen that it's done the best. And I feel like in season 2, there should be a way that the GPL can, I guess, maybe encourage players more, maybe look for players that are willing to do that, willing to put themselves out there, because for this to be successful, I think the players, it just needs to be a little different on their end, in addition to a bunch of other different things too.
I thought for sure you were going to say that they don't have to buy in. Because to me, that's the single biggest problem with anything poker related is no buy-in. I know
they're not going to change that. That's not going to be changed.
Look,
I mean,
I know that's not going to be changed. I know that's not going to be changed, but it still needs to be said that that is the problem. And frankly, I think that they should have realized the format was going to have some issues out of the gate, because originally these teams were being sold as franchises. Mm-hmm. They were originally being sold as franchises, and people had to buy each team. I think they were around $100,000 to purchase a team. And they couldn't sell them because no one wanted to buy these teams. So they ended up just kind of like putting them together, you know? Mm-hmm. That's a big problem when the teams are just, frankly, and look, here's the thing. I really am hopeful that stuff like GPL could be successful, because it's great for poker for stuff like this to exist and for stuff like this to be successful. It brings more people in, it makes people more interested, etc. But the thing is, when you just put together random groups of players
and random countries of teams, like Berlin Bears, a Sorel Mizzy, come on.
There's no relevance. There's no relevance to actual poker.
Right.
You know, like the finals is actually funny. Someone said to me yesterday, they said, you know, Doug, it was funny you decided to make fun of them in the finals for not having a buy-in when it was the only match in the GPL that was actually for money the entire time, which is actually a pretty good point. But the thing is, during the season, for example, why tune in on week 6? You know, why tune in?
I mean, definitely has to be shorter. My big thing, Doug, the commentators. I think the commentators, you know, we have Stapes. He did a lot of commentating. He's been a staple amongst the poker community for a long time. I think he did a good job. They brought in Eric Danis. You know, thought he did a good job. He's never commentated poker before. But I feel like, you know, this is my idea, man. I'm telling you. Jimmy Stapler and fucking William Kassouf. I think you bring in some guys like that. You bring in some guys with a following on a Twitch. William Kassouf, one of the most popular poker players in the world. You bring in some guys like that. You bring in some more personality to kind of work with the show, make the show. I don't know. I think you need some jolt of excitement, and you need probably a better way to get the best parts of your show out there. I feel like the best parts of the show that actually happened, you couldn't really find. Like you didn't see them on YouTube. You didn't really see them on Twitch. You didn't see them on Twitter. You didn't see them on Facebook. And I feel like the marketing of the actual good spots was pretty non-existent in terms of it.
What were the good spots?
Jungle Man versus Nano Noko. I remember that match. I don't know, Doug. I didn't see the fucking spots. That's what I'm saying. Is like, there had to be good spots.
Do people want to see Jungle Man and Nano Noko play heads up for play money?
Well, those matches were pretty funny.
But do they want to see that?
Tilting. I don't know.
Imagine if it was Nano Noko versus Jungle heads up for like 50K. People want to see that.
That's not going to happen.
I know, but that's the point. That's the problem. That's why these things like Poker Night in America actually are a lot more interesting for the viewer than something like GPL when there's no buy-in. Additionally, like I do think that while they tried to maximize their viewership by constantly running replays on their channel, I understand they want to try and bring the most people in possible. The problem is then when you actually do go live, everyone's like, oh, it might just be a replay again, so I'm not going to tune in. So you kind of, while you might maximize your total viewership, and I see Dreyfus tweeting about this all the time, like, last week we had however many 100,000 of minutes watched, and it's like, okay, you ran the channel 24/7 with like 100 people on it. Like, I mean, I don't know if is that good. Like, are you just looking for like total volume number? I mean, I don't think that's that valuable to have just always some random person watching it in a smaller viewership. I think that they needed to try and be a little more tactical with the way they use those replays rather than just grinding them out 24/7, and now you burn out your followers because they get that email like, oh man, the GPL's live. Oh shit, it's a replay again like it's been every day for the last week. That's annoying as a viewer. Oh, sorry, I got carried away here. All right.
We need Alex Dreyfus to really settle this. I think we need to bring him on the show, and maybe he can give us some insight into what he's got planned for season 2.
Okay, so we are now moving into a new segment we have here, guys. Heads up for roles. We are actually going to be bringing some people onto the show to talk to them. First up,
can't wait, baby. Heads up for roles. Let's get the money out. Let's go.
We can finally answer these GPL questions. Alex, here's my question to you. How can GPL be more relevant in season 2?
Doug, that's a great question. And, I thank you for letting me be on this show today. And I think the GPL, I think season one, okay. Season 1, okay. No one said, Doug, nobody said we'd make it out to season 1. No one said we'd pull this off. And sure, I admit, some things along the way, maybe a little bit out of line, as some of you Americans might say. I think, maybe it's just the entrepreneurial life. The wires get lost in translation, and sometimes ideas, they don't go as well. We had Wembley Stadium planned. It didn't go as planned. And I think that season 2, high hope, Doug. Season 2, high hope. I think season 2, we can really turn things around. I have some great ideas, a better draft system, as you might say. I've been taking some inspiration from esports. I've been taking some inspirations from the NBA. And I think in season 2, we're going to really see some improvement, and I encourage everybody out there to tune in to season 2, Doug.
Alex,
do you have a question for me maybe while I'm on the show? It's an honor to be on the show, Doug. It really is an honor to be on the show.
Do you feel that the sort of scandal that came out during season 1, do you feel like that might have hurt the reputation of the league in some way, or do you think that really matters?
You know what, Doug? I think I look for an example from one of my role models, David Bezos. And I think David Bezos, sometimes as an entrepreneur, you go through ups, you go through downs, Doug. It's going to happen. You need failure, Doug. To really succeed on a big scale, you need failure, Doug. And I think it's just when my story is written in 5 years and we look back on this, it'll just be a footnote. It'll be like he overcame that. He made himself still be somebody and be something because of this situation. And I think this situation will not even matter in some years' time, my friend.
All right. Next up,
Sheldon Adelson. Hey, Sheldon, thank you for joining us on the show today. It's very happy to have you here. Sheldon, why are you so against online poker? What did online poker do to you, man?
Joey, and although I'm not going to be doing a Sheldon Adelson accent here, Joey, here's the thing. If you look at the history of the internet, people have been exploited time and time again. Children, adults, everyone has been exploited. And here's the thing. At casinos, you have rules. You have law. There's order. There's security. Online, you have none of that. All it takes is your kid to get your credit card, log on, and gamble. And I have to ask you, Joey, does that sound American?
Well, Sheldon, we live in a country where people are free to do as they want, and the overwhelming majority out there want online poker. But you're the person that keeps putting money and investing money into these candidates who go against online poker. And quite frankly, we're just sick of it, Sheldon. We're really sick of it. What can we do to change your mind? What can we do to convince you online poker isn't that bad?
Well, let me think about that for a moment. That's a very interesting point that you make there, but unfortunately, we both know the evils of online gambling. And the thing is, I'm not going to stand by while my companies lose, or while the people are exploited because of online poker. I simply refuse to do it. I will stand up for what needs to be said, and we're gonna fight this problem. I got great friends, Pence and Trump. They're both on board. We're going to shut this down. We will never play online poker again.
Sheldon, I don't wish bad things on anybody, but I hope at some point in time you reconsider, my friend. I really do. The people, they beg you to reconsider, please.
All right. Next up.
Who we got?
We got the speech play himself up in here.
Marvelous.
Kassouf, great to have you on the show today. Here's my question. We actually talked about you. We talked about you pretty much every week. It is an honor.
Of course. I'm famous. Okay.
Where do you go from here? You're now, to some people, you're America's sweetheart. To other people, they think that you're one of the most annoying players. Where do we go? What are you doing next?
Doug, I just think when you say who says bad player, I don't think I'm a bad player. I don't think I'm hated by people. I'm an annoying player. I think I'm just speech play. It's just speech play, Doug. I've been doing this speech play now for 4, 5, 6 years, and it's just a part of me. You know, I just bought a new car, bought an Aston Martin DBS. You can check it out on my Twitter. And from here, where do I go? I don't know. I try to stay marvelous. I try to, maybe I go to Hollywood. Doug, how far to Hollywood? I don't know. But
do you think that maybe, can you see where some players might come from that what you say to them when you ask them?
Haters, Doug. Just haters. They're all hating on me. They're just hating on the speech play. They let the speech play get to them, Doug. Would you let the speech play get to you if we were at a table playing together? Would you go complain to the floor?
I would hope not.
Yeah, I don't think people are like you, Doug. I think the speech play just gets to them. They're not ready. The PC world in 2016, they're not ready. I got people say, check my privilege. Check your own fucking privilege, Griffin. I'm not checking my privilege. I'm from England, baby. We don't check our fucking privilege in England. We just say what we want to say.
That's very impressive. But the question is, where do you go from here? What are you going to do?
Doug. No. That's not the question. The question is, how marvelous am I, Doug? That's the question. The question isn't, where do I go from here? We know where I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take my 17th place money in the World Series of Poker main event. I'm going to go play 1-2. I'm going to go play 2-5. I'm going to drive around in my Aston Martin with my sexy wife. Now I'm going to have a great life, Doug.
All right.
There's much time's left there. Oh, my God. Doug, you're really trying to keep these. You kind of, laugh at some of these things, man. All right, Dan. Oh, my God. Guys, it's an honor. Daniel Negreanu, thank you for joining us here on Table Talk today. It's great to have you on there. Daniel, you've been saying some very controversial things lately about online poker. What the fuck's your problem?
So here's the thing, Joey. All we hear from are a very vocal 0.1%, 0.01%. The bottom line is this. 99% of poker players are recreational players. That's just a fact. And the changes that we've been making at PokerStars have been helping them.
Stop it.
A lot of people don't understand the way that rake affects the ecosystem. And what's going to happen here is all of these pros are going to get driven out, and now the recreational players, they're going to lose, but they were going to lose anyway. Now they lose less. So because these players, they lose less money, they have more fun at PokerStars, everybody wins except the pros.
Well, Doug, technically in that situation, no one wins except PokerStars. When you're creating these unbeatable games, I don't get it. It doesn't make fucking sense, Daniel. No one's going to win in this scenario.
But the thing is, games aren't always there for people to win. Poker is entertainment. Think of it like this. When people go see a movie, are there any people that don't have to pay to see that movie? No, because it's a movie. And that's what poker is like. It's a form of entertainment. And these players, do they want to win? Sure. But that's, some of them will win no matter what because of tournaments and all these types of poker. They're going to do better now because there's less pros in their games. They're going to be taking their money.
You really believe this bullshit you're saying, Daniel? You really believe you think in 10 years we're going to look back and you're going to say, what the fuck was I thinking?
Well, it depends on how much I've been paid at that point, but probably not. I mean, the bottom line is more rake is better for the recreational players.
No, it's not. It's just not.
All right.
It really isn't, man. It really isn't.
Guys.
Okay. It really isn't. I just ready. Better. It really isn't.
It's time for
Riverboat. All right.
Riverboat rundown. All right.
Come on, let's go. Come on. Hop on the boat, mateys.
First up on the Riverboat rundown, it's Phil Hellmuth. It's been a slow week in the news. He's got a new monogram. What are your thoughts, Joey?
I think that Phil Hellmuth's new monogram is one of the least creative and worst I don't even know what a monogram is. I think it's a logo, but it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And he needs to go back to the drawing board. Doug, PokerStars won Operator of the Year. How is that even fucking possible, Doug?
I didn't think it was possible, but you know what? That award, what does it even mean? I mean, 888 won it when PokerStars bought Phil Tilt, and PKR won it before that. Who even cares? What even is this award? I don't know. Next up, Jason Bad Reg Mercier gets hitched. Joey, your thoughts?
Doug, come on, get down the river. Let's go. I can't believe this, Doug. We get a new poker power couple, Jason Mercier, Natasha Barbero, a.k.a. Natasha Mercier. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens next year for these guys at the World Series. I think they're going to have a big year, Doug. They're going to have a big year. Come on, let's get down the river. Magnus Carlsen, Doug. Magnus Carlsen. He came back and the chess world championships. No one thought he could do it.
Everyone thought he could do it. He was the best player in the world. And he took him out. And actually, it was close up until those fast games. Then he just crushed. No chance.
I know.
Well, actually, over to you for this one, Joey. Go for it.
Grind Nation, guys. Next week on the podcast, we're going to be having a little Grind Nation week. I think I'm going to be starting on Tuesday. We're going to be having people from the Grind Nation that me and Doug Polk are a part of. We're going to be on the show. I'm going to be unretired from podcast. Doug, you be watching?
I'm watching, man. I got to get my Bulero on.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
The Bankroll Challenge. What's up, bitches? I'm at 6:30, crushing the game. I've won every session since I've been back.
Jesus.
Apparently, you can beat microstakes, Joey. What's your take?
I'm not going to believe it until you finish the challenge, and I cannot wait for you to prove all these fuckboys out there that said you couldn't do it wrong, my friend.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us this week for Table Talk. I'm going to be putting the video up on Joey's YouTube channel. Check it out, Joe Ingram 1. I'm also going to put a clip up of the GPL on my channel. Stop by, and, of course, we'll be live next week at 11.
We'll be back. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Let us know. Much love. Peace out. Adios. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this week's Table Talk with me and Doug Polk. You can check out last week's episode over on Doug Polk's YouTube channel as we alternate every single week. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and bazam!